Hey Cancer, welcome to your reading. I'm Empress Rose. These are general readings. We're going to take what works and leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We're going to start off with an intuitive vibe off of the Moonology and Work Your Light deck mixed. Those ones flipped around. It's dark, as it will be for quite some time now. So hopefully this lighting situation again works out okay. All right, let's see if we, well, maybe that's what we got. Maybe we got what we got. After this, we're going to move on to a more traditional tarot spread with the Golden Tarot, the Renaissance deck. All right. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Oh, I love this one. I was just like studying on some of these topics. Okay. Okay. Believe in the impossible, Blue Moon. This is a very prominent card lately. I've gotten it in a lot of personal readings and a lot of general readings. We are meant to be, I think, envisioning very large here, very big, very overall opening up to an infinity of possibilities, of amazing things happening in our world and to us personally. I think we're meant to be opening up, believe in the impossible. It's Blue Moon, which we just had. So that's very exciting. And communication is key, New Moon in Gemini. So I think, do you need to like communicate a dream to someone, a possibility, bring that out, talk about it? Because this is about talking about something, which seems to have been a popular topic in last week's readings as well. I think everybody got some sort of like, you need to have a conversation card. And this one is talking about needing to have a conversation about something in your future that maybe you don't necessarily think is possible, but maybe it's more possible than you think. I'm seeing someone that needs to like talk to like a college counselor or a boss about a promotion or something like that, even though it seems impossible, like it's not going to happen right now. You need to talk to someone who maybe can help you or bring that in, or just at least let your loved ones know what you're thinking and what you're hoping for and what you're dreaming for. And then we have Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So this can go a couple ways. One way is that part of you needs sort of a witness, and maybe that's what this communication is that you need someone to see you, to look back at you, to resemble you, to witness. I'm reminded of Witness Me from Mad Max, one of my favorite movies, Fury Road. So needing a witness, and this is possibly why you're needing to communicate. I think this can also relate to believing in the impossible, because life is sort of this Rorschach blotch. Like all of life is basically a giant Rorschach blotch, and we're bringing our perceptions and our understanding of reality and imposing it basically on every person, everything, every experience that we have. So we're interpreting everything all the time, all the different signs, all the different things about us. We're bringing our personality and interacting with reality. And then our perception, who we are, is sort of mirrored back to us by our reality. And that could be why you need to believe in the impossible, because it opens up you to possibilities where if you're just projecting onto the world, or maybe even onto somebody else, since we're talking about communication, if you're just projecting on, and we've got mirroring, we've got twinsies all over the place. So this could be a sibling or someone you're close to, but there is some sort of mirroring. And with this mirror, it's you. Everything's a reflection of you, of what you think is possible, of what you think is available. And so I see this as like you needing to open up about that and open up the possibilities that you see, because you're projecting onto the world what you believe is possible. So something may be possible, but because you're not seeing it, then you're not going to see it, right? Because you're projecting onto reality what you think is possible. So you're to open up your mind, I think, to infinite possibilities. I think there's also some sort of communication. You need to connect with someone about some sort of big dream that you have, maybe get some help, or maybe even just have someone who knows what this dream is. Who knows? And then I love this one. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is totally, yeah, about opening up to infinite possibilities. So, and then we have dance with life, do something to change your energy. So I see this as you being sort of locked into a perception, locked into an energy, and you need to really open up your mind because it's your perception of the situation that's the only thing that's limiting the situation. So opening up your mind, which seems to be locked in some sort of energy or in some sort of, it seems to be kind of, this is what can happen. These are the possibilities. It could be even like, there's only two possibilities. It's either this or it's either that. Well, there's always more than two possibilities and there's always more than one, right? So, so just opening your mind to a lot of possibilities and a lot of nuance, but your energy might be a little rigid, and it might be about a relationship, or it might be about needing to relate to other people, and you may have like a limited view of how that's possible or how that can happen. Also, with this dance of life, it relates to believing in the impossible and the Rorschach idea, because this do something to change your energy. We have a couple ways we can change our energy, and this is funny too because, yeah, I was just studying up on this. No, that was what I was saying I was studying up on. It was as the changing your energy, either through your mind or through your body. So we can just start moving in a different way. If you haven't danced for a while, make sure you're dancing. Find a new way to move. And this can often change perspectives, literally, quite literally changing a perspective. If you tend to sit in the same chair in your living room, you're only looking in one direction and you only have that one perspective. So sort of spiritually, emotionally, switch up some perspectives and sit in all the chairs of your living room, or dance in different rooms of your house, go to a neighborhood you don't usually go to a grocery store you don't usually go to, and also change what I think you believe is possible. Change that energy and start dancing with life and start dancing with the infinite possibilities, and start playing with those ideas that there's a lot more out here and there's a lot more possible than you originally thought, and changing that energy around. Changing your energy around what you think is possible and what you're projecting, because your energy is projecting onto your reality somehow. So you're very much stuck in some sort of rigid idea of what's possible, and you may just need to talk it out with somebody. I see a real need for you to communicate with somebody. There is so much mirroring and twinness here with the Gemini and the mirror and the dancing with life with somebody else. That combination, there's got to be someone else involved in this shifting mentality of what's possible. This could be like meeting a kindred spirit of some sort, meeting someone that's very much like you, or interacting with someone who's very much like you. And maybe you never thought that would happen. All right, Cancer. We're going to move on to this here. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. All right, in your recent past, you have this Page of Wands, new discovery, maybe even a message, maybe learning about something. Here's what it is. We have sort of some fire of inspiration here. We've got these bunnies, these rabbits here. And they're all known for breeding, which brings in, I guess, the sexuality aspect of the Page of Wands that comes in sometimes. But this is you basically discovering something, learning about something, learning about a new idea, learning about a new concept, maybe learning about a new project, something inspiring. Something inspiring, basically, and you're learning about it. You're just starting off on a journey about something inspiring and interesting, and that's very fascinating to you. And yeah, you kind of like stopped what you were doing and were like, wait, what is this? What is this thing? You were on some sort of, you thought you knew where you were going, and then something sort of surprising came into your understanding of reality, and you're just kind of looking at it right now, trying to figure out what this is. What is this new thing? What is this new message? What is this? How is this going? What is this new thing here? So a lot of curiosity, a lot of learning about something that just sort of, maybe even sort of randomly showed up here that you weren't expecting. And then in your current situation, you have Wheel of Fortune. You have the shifting fortunes of life. So you could be having a good news, bad news type week, or, you know, the good news is you got a new horse. The bad news is your son broke his arm. The good news is the doctor's coming. The bad news is so is the military recruiter. This is an old Buddhist story. I've probably told you before. The good news is your son's broken arm prevents him from being recruited into the military. The bad news is your family doesn't get the stipend from that. So it's that kind of thing. Shifting fortunes is sort of going on. Bad luck, good luck, things out of your control, and sort of that up and down of life. It's a pretty general card for this position. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on with everybody, literally. But for some reason, it's highlighted for you. So you could have some good luck coming in, but you'll only be able to see it and experience it if you're open-minded to it, right? If you're available to it, and if you're understanding infinite the possibilities, right? This would be like going to a dealership and saying like, hey, I want to buy a car, and just being really fixated on what car you want to buy, and then you have to pay whatever price. But if you go in and you're like, okay, I kind of have some sort of idea, I'm open to a bunch of possibilities, and then you end up with a car that you never expected, but it's a really great price point and it's a really awesome car. But if you'd gone in there with a very specific expectation, you wouldn't have discovered that car, and you wouldn't have gotten that price, and you wouldn't have, the sort of good luck that unfolded for you there at a dealership. I don't know. This metaphor is a little weird, but hey, we're believing in the impossible, right? So being, not too specific with your dreams, and understanding that the broader dream is possible. So and I feel like having that open mind allows for good fortune to come in when you're not locked in about like, I need this certain thing to go this certain way. This is the way it has to go. But when you're open to a lot of different possibilities, a lot of really great things can come in, and you can be open. The studies open to that. The studies done on learned optimism really show that openness to new experiences and that openness to unexpected surprises actually really increases people's luck. It just being open to it. And that's why I think you're being asked to believe in the impossible and sort of change the energy and open up your energy a bit more to any possibility. So things are changing, fortunes are changing for you, and you need to be open to new ways of doing things. That's basically what it is. New ways of doing things, a new experience in life. So, and then in your inner landscape, you have Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups here in this deck is bringing a message of love and affection. There's a lot of like roiling emotions here, but he's pretty steady. He knows what he wants. Again, we have a message here, much like this Page of Wands message. We have a little message, and this is a messenger coming in with love. Of course, knights are brave. They're courageous. So you might be thinking about telling someone that you care about them. Of course, we've got the believe in the impossible, and we have all of this mirroring going on here. So, so you might be thinking of telling someone that you care about them, bringing this message of love and affection. And if it's not love and affection, it's just a heartfelt message that you're thinking about bringing, and you're considering it. You might be planning it. You might be worried about it. Like what's obviously we're all worried about being vulnerable like that, but the knights are brave. So you might be thinking about having some sort of bravery, being brave with your emotions in communicating them, because we do have communication is key here also. And then this knight is also talking about being bravely communicating your feelings to somebody. And it could be about a variety of things, but what's in your cup, what's in your emotional cup is I feel like it's true. It's not like, it's separate from the tumultuous sort of roiling emotions that we tend to have. It's something that's solid. That's like, this isn't a passing fancy. But this could also be actually hoping for someone else to communicate that with you. But I kind of feel like it's you thinking about communicating some sort of loving thing. And then what's at issue here is the Sun card reversed. So there's not, the issue is that there's not a lot of happiness. There might not be a lot of clarity. There's not a buoyancy to the situation. There's not a buoyancy to this situation, but I do see like the same message here, but it's not being delivered. So there might be a lack of clarity, a lack of growth, and a lack of sort of joy that's causing some sort of delay or some sort of frustration here. So a lack of clarity, really. Maybe there hasn't been very clear communication. Maybe you don't really understand what you're looking at. And then in your inner landscape, or no, not your inner landscape, your outer landscape, we have this Queen of Cups energy. So this could be a real person, but it's external to you. It's someone who's really thinking about how they feel, which I find interesting because we have this Knight of Cups here thinking about communicating how they feel. And then we have a Queen of Cups here thinking about, in your environment, someone else is thinking about how they feel. Very focused on that, trying to figure out, trying to understand something, trying to understand how they feel. So if this is talking about a romantic relationship, this could be the other person really thinking about how they feel. There are, of course, two lovebirds here in this little basket that she's thinking about. And again, we have a cup, of course, sitting on the table. The Knight of Cups, you're dreaming about, you're thinking about communicating some sort of emotion. But this Queen of Cups, you know, her feelings, her cup sits right here. She's not necessarily ready to communicate it. She's just thinking about it in herself and journaling about it possibly. The queens tend to be a little more self-contained, and the suit is relevant to their own inner experience and their own personal life. So the queen is very, and gender doesn't matter here, of course. So the queen is just very focused on her feelings and figuring out what they are. That's what journaling is. And they do have to do with love, affection, communication for sure. Possibly some worries about getting hurt, being harmed. So what I find interesting is this communication is key card here, and we have this Page of Wands receiving a message. We have this Knight of Cups wanting to deliver a message, and we have the Sun card in reverse where a message is either very vague or something's very vague here or not communicated. There's a lack of clarity. Your to-do list is, this card just freaks me out in this situation. Your to-do list is the Tower. Is to depose something, rock somebody's world, turn it upside down, change the dynamic completely, flipping a dynamic. I mean, this shows a lot of anguish here. A lot of people are going to be upset, but that's not necessarily, it's just, they're just upset because things aren't how they were like 2 minutes ago. But it's not necessarily upsetting. The Tower moment can be very exciting, but it also deposes people. It also, so maybe this isn't like a great communication you have to give here. I mean, do something to change your energy, dance with life. I feel like this is what you're called to do, is change the energy of the situation, flip it on its head, turn it upside down, bring some sort of truth into this thing that I was saying that I felt was really true and really solid from you. I think it is talking about bringing whatever that communication is, and I jumped to love, but it could also be just really something else, bringing that into a situation, and it's really going to rock people's worlds. But that's your job right now, is to really rock your world. Maybe you need to rock your world too, and it's gonna create a little bit, it's gonna create some upheaval. Your job really is to create upheaval. That's your to-do list. You're a little like gremlin here that's here to gremlin things up and cause a problem. So, I mean, causing a problem, what I mean by that is like causing a problem to the status quo. And that's exactly what this card is. Changing the status quo, causing a problem to the status quo. And maybe you need to communicate with someone about that status quo. I mean, you're definitely externalizing some sort of communication. Your to-do list is about communicating a truth that you have that's going to rock somebody's world. Also, I'm looking at this mirroring card, and it's bringing my attention to it because I think that it says who or what is triggering you. So that's something in your environment that is that you're seeing, right? And you're projecting, and you're bringing your projection into the world. But you're seeing something there that's very upsetting for you, and probably needs to be communicated to you, or you need to communicate that. And it's upsetting to you, or it's exciting to you, or it's hitting you in a certain way because of your past experiences that you're bringing into the situation, into life. And I don't want to say you're necessarily projecting it, but the thing is that it's bright and calling your attention and blinking at you because of past experience. It's that thing that's like really loud to you, and it might not be loud to other people. So you're supposed to announce this loud thing. It's like if you'd been trained to spot cancerous moles on people, and then you're hanging out with a bunch of people at the beach, and you're seeing a lot of skin, and you see this mole on this person. Now, to everybody else, it might look like just a regular mole, but because you have all this training and you have all this experience here, you can very clearly see that that is most likely a cancerous mole that needs to be dealt with. I have no idea where that analogy came from, but that's what I saw. And so this tower moment would be you being like, hey, but it's because of who you are and your experience that you're noticing this thing. So it could be something that you're noticing that you need to communicate to somebody that only you notice because you're bringing yourself into reality. And so you see, it's almost a mirroring thing. Does that make sense? I feel like it does in a lot of ways. So this would be like this could be telling someone, you know, that you love and you care about them. This could also be telling them, hey, you've got a mole, because that's going to be a real tower moment for that person, because they thought they were going to the beach, and then suddenly, you know, there's a skin doctor hanging out on the beach with them, because that's what you are in this scenario. You're the skin doctor. You're an expert in this. So the skin doctor goes to the beach, and all he sees is skin conditions and skin issues, because that's who he is, and he's projecting that on. So I feel like that, like, not projecting it, but he just notices more about who he is and wherever he is or she is, right? So telling someone they need to get a mole check could be a very big tower moment for them, where everything's going along fine, status quo is fine, and then here comes this doctor, and because of who he is, he just sees things that way. So that's my example here. And then where you're going is Six of Coins. Six of Coins is a lot about fairness, getting back what you put in, equal exchange, rearranging the resources. So there could be some rearrangement of resources. You could be asking somebody for something, or somebody could be asking you for something. But this isn't like a rearrange the resources. This is like, you know what, I'm going to rebudget and refigure out how much I can donate to this cause, or how much I can give you, or how much I can spend on a gift, or something like that. And you're either asking someone to do that, or they're doing that for you. So there could be some sort of rearrangement of resources, time, money, projects, stuff like that, like just asking for more. And maybe that's what you need, is to be asking for more. Or maybe when you bring this tower moment in, the person's like, can you recommend a good skin doctor? Where should I get that done? And so they ask you for something, which seems fair. If you're gonna like dump someone's life upside down, it seems like, yeah, maybe they could ask you for some help dealing with the cleanup. So there could be some generosity here, some sort of balance, bringing some sort of balance to a relationship. It could be coming at you in the future. All right, so we're gonna look at this Kuan Yin now. Feels breathless somehow. I didn't feel like I felt that way at the beginning. This reading is making me breathless. Okay, so being on your path, but not quite sure which way to go. Some unsettled energy, or maybe being pulled in two directions. Your mind wants you to go in one direction. You want to go in another direction. There seems to be some sort of pause here, possibly. But let's see what it says. Finding your way. When your feet seem to lead you one way and your head says to go a different way, tune into your heart. It will guide you there, helping you see my signs and most easily find your way on your beautiful life journey. So I feel like this is where you're at, figuring out what your heart wants. And your heart, I think, wants to believe in the impossible. It will if you let it. So, all right, Cancer, thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I very much appreciate them. And I hope you have a very wonderful week.